Ho, 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 Merry Christmas! The Unused Subs are kicking off again at Tyler Street Sport, Auckland FC's official home, from first sip to final cheers. It's the Fantastic Four this time around with Jacob Spoonley, the return of Paul Ifill, myself, Goran Paladin, and by popular demand, the other half of Auckland FC's evil twins, it's Callen Elliot. The main reason that you have arrived here today is because last week your character was assassinated like I've never seen before.
This was not a scheduled podcast? He wasn't part of the schedule?
We actually changed out Jake Goodwood right so that you could come in and have a chat with us about what happened last week with Lachie Brook. One half of the evil twins, you are the other half,
Yep.
and he slated you something chronic. You're a bully, you're feisty, you're unruly, you overstay your welcome at his house, you abused a postman, you messed with a stranger's car. Callen, how do you respond to these incredible allegations here today? Your right of reply on the Unused Subs.
And you can't plead the fifth on a podcast, by the way. The whole point is that you come and contribute.
Yeah. Nah, this is very rich coming from Lachie. He says I'm an angry man, which is not true at all. You could probably vouch for me there. I'm not.
I don't know about that.
If you could, couldn't you?
He was never angry enough when I was coaching him. I wanted a little bit more, and then I think he showed that and got in. So it's been a while since we've worked together. So I don't know what he's like these days. So look, the jury's out. We'll see.
Look, I'll tell you one thing. So we have these fines in the team called dummy spits. If you have a dummy spit in training, you get fined. So I've seen 5 of these happen at my time in Auckland. One of them was last season, Tommy Smith. Forgot what happened. But the other 4, all to Lachie Brook this season.
We're only a third of the way through the season, for God's sake.
Exactly, and he's calling me an angry guy.
So every fortnight, he's picking up one of these fines.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's good for the kitty, though.
So you can categorically deny all of what he said last week. Is that what we're saying? Or
No.
did you abuse a postman?
It was over-exaggerated, I'd say.
Hyperbole.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but yeah.
An exaggeration.
Yeah. Basically, I was parked on the side of the street, and this postman was indicating to come in. I'm reversing. He starts reversing. I just give him a friendly beep so I can get out.
Friendly beep.
Yeah, just a little, one of those
You're
taps.
communicating. I understand. Yeah.
And then I start reversing again, and he starts reversing again. So the second honk, I'm giving it, and then he reverses all the way back, and he's the one that throws his hands up to me first.
Right.
So then I wind down my window.
What time is this, Cal, just for context?
Very, very early in the morning. Like, I'm picking up Lachie. I'm basically his Uber driver right now.
Was Lachie on time?
He was, to be fair.
Okay.
And he did offer me a coffee,
That's kind.
which is nice of him. But yeah, I'm basically his Uber driver just now because his tyre's popped and he can't be bothered fixing it.
How long's the tyre been deflated for?
Probably a week and a half now.
Oh,
That's
too
laziness,
long,
really, eh?
Yeah.
Either that or he just wants to spend more time with you.
Yeah, this is true. But then he complains I spend too much time with him, so I don't know which one it is.
Hard to find a middle ground, eh?
Yeah.
They did say he came across to your apartment, mate, as well. So, like, what's the kind of, like, the share between the apartments at the moment?
No, I usually go to his apartment just because his facilities are well nice. He's got a pool, sauna and stuff.
Oh.
Sometimes when Missus comes, we send her to the pool and sauna and we stay up playing PlayStation. So we got a good deal going.
Is there anything that you want to say to Lachie Brook that you're not brave enough to say directly to his face? You can say it in the comfortable confines of the Unused Subs podcast here today, Callen.
I think he was acting up a bit for the cameras, that's all.
It was a performance.
I think so, because we do have a really good relationship, and I didn't really appreciate him talking down on my name.
Can I say one thing, just reflecting on this, and then we'll go to Ify as he conducts himself. If there's only been one dummy spit in season 1, is that accurate? It was for Tommy Smith,
Yeah,
as you
Tommy
said.
Smith, yeah.
And there's been 4 in season 2,
Yeah,
all to the same person.
All from Lachie, yeah.
That surely feels like an award. Like, at the end of the season, you win the Lachie Brook.
Yeah,
If you,
we could do that, to be fair.
yeah, I mean, there's a brand in there, so if he's earned it in a lot of ways. But Ify, anything that you'd like to add, context you'd like to provide?
Look, I'm at this stage of the podcast. I'm just pleased that Cal's talking.
I knew you were going to say something like this.
He knows. If we'd have done this podcast when he was 18, he just sat there and nodded a couple of times, shook his head a few times, and we'd have got him out of here in about 10 minutes going, Jesus Christ, he is boring as. So to get to this point...
It's supposed to be his right reply.
I do agree with him. I do agree
I'll
with
tell
him.
you something. When he started at my academy, I used to pick the players up from the airport in Welly. He knows what's coming.
I know where this is going.
Right, I used to pick him up from Welly, and we'd have to drive 2 hours over the hill to Masterton. And what I'd do, I'd say hello, I'd get their gear in the car, and then I'd sit in the car, and I'd time it and see how long we could get, how far we could get before they spoke first. There's 2 players in the history of time that I've done it that didn't speak the whole way, and Callan is one of them.
Is he one of them?
Callen and who else?
The other one is Jonty Rubos, actually, who played for me last year at Olympic. Both really good lads, very, very quiet, and they both kicked on as footballers and kicked on as people. So I think if you got Jonty on, I think he'd have a bit to say as well now. So look, it's good. They came right in the end, so obviously it worked.
Must have been bloody awkward driving. You would have felt like an Uber driver or something, mate.
Nah, so I would start and then leave it silent. Then I'd put the radio on for a bit when we were going over the room attackers. And Cal did this as well. So like there was other times, that was the first time. And then what I'd do the next time we travelled over, I'd actually say, listen, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then you've got to think of some questions to ask me. And I'd force him into asking me questions.
So the
And then
Paul
once
Ifill
we've done
Academy,
this-
it's quite holistic, isn't it? It's not just about football. It's about integrating
right.
these players into society.
I'm more worried that Ife's
Absolutely.
forcing them to stay in a van with him for a couple of hours. What was the first question, Ife? I'm kind of keen on that.
Oh, what, from Cal?
I
Yeah.
don't know this.
I think he asked a question about my career, and look, to be fair, once he asked a couple of questions, then I think the next time we spoke all the way, and like we had a great relationship at the end, and he was one of the clearly one of the best in the academy. So eventually, I would actually speak with him quite often and see how he was feeling, because he always sort of understood what was going on, and there was a time when he was so far clear of the others in the academy that it was kind of, I had to gear a lot of it towards him and make sure that he was still getting what he needed, because he was training with guys that were younger and not quite as good, really. So we ended up having a good relationship towards the end, and then obviously helped get him into the Phoenix. He got himself into the Phoenix, but that was kind of where we sent him in the first place, and we can talk about that in a minute anyway.
And Ife, just so while the sun's shining on you, mate, in your academy, who are the names that have gone on to do big things along with Callan?
I think Cal was the first, and I think Cal will tell you, when I first met him, I sat down with his parents pretty early on, and I just said, look, I think your son's got a lot of ability. There's so much, because we had the academy down in Nelson where Cal lived, and we were doing sort of once or twice a week, and we were getting some success, and he was progressing. But I said, look, if you come up to the Wairarapa and I can train you every day, I just think there's an opportunity to potentially bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I can't promise to make you a pro, but I promise you'll be better by the time you finish than when you start. And that was really the only promise I made. And it was pretty clear early on that he had enough ability, in my opinion. It was just trying to give him the opportunities to go on to the next stage. So that was kind of how it went, I think.
What's he like as a coach and a manager of a footballer? Because we see him as the TV personality, now a podcast star, right, I think. But what is he like behind closed doors? Is he barking at his players, or is he sort of wrapping them in cotton wool? What's his approach?
Nah, Ives was a very good coach. It was very much more technical, but that's because we're in an academy, we're in a team as such. But yeah, he was good at encouraging everyone. He didn't really bark. I don't think he barked once, to be honest. Yeah, it was good when we were there.
Talking about the process of transferring from the academy into the Phoenix, like how do you go about traversing what is pretty rural football, I've got to say, Nelson and the Wairarapa, and then going into an established academy space like the Phoenix, then jumping up into the first team? That's quite a transition.
Yeah, well, I actually didn't go through the academy. So I was at Wairarapa United after I finished school, and I was still working at the school. I went back and worked for a bit, and I remember getting the call from ICE. I was working at the tuck shop, selling cookies and pies to the students. Yeah, he basically rang me saying Phoenix want to give me a month's trial. So yeah, I went down, and then that month turned into 2 months trial, and then 3 months trial, and then finally signed for them.
And that's during pre-season, is it?
Yeah, during pre-season.
Under
yeah.
Ufi?
No, Marko Rudan.
Marko Rudan.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Interesting.
There's a coach who's probably barking at players, eh?
I was gonna say he's a scary man.
Come on then, tell us. How scary?
There's one story you've probably heard it, about the military camp.
No, I have not.
Nah, you've not heard it?
Ifi?
No, brand new.
Probably, but no, go on.
So we get this email from the club the night before training saying, "Tell your family you won't be home for 24 hours." And no one knew what was going on. And we turn up to training, and there's these two people in the changing room with military gear on, and they're like, they said, "Okay, hand in your phones and get on the bus." So we all handed in our phones, got on the bus, and they took us out to that military base in
Upper Hutt?
yeah, in Upper Hutt.
Trentham?
Yeah, in Trentham. From 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. we were doing lectures on like leadership, Maori culture, all that. And then from 9 p.m. onwards was just all physical. We were running stuff up the hill, back down, like stretches with fake bodies on, like 80 kgs. And they'd say, "You've got to get up the hill and back down in 20 minutes. And I remember the first time we did it, and I think it was like 23 minutes. They're like, "Okay, do it again." Second time, it was like 21 minutes. They're like, "All right, do it again." Third time, they're like, we did it in about, I think it was like 19 minutes. And they were like, "Okay, sure, so it wasn't a fluke. Do it again." We're doing stuff like that, and we were doing physical activity till about 9 a.m. in the morning. And we hadn't been fed or anything. I remember they gave us bags of tents, and they, like, one of those big green military tents, you know, the ones. Yeah.
I hate a tent on a good day, mate, so this is not a good sign for me.
So they put those down, and they were like, "Okay, let's set up the tents." And we were all thinking, "Okay, this is going to be shit, but at least we're getting some sleep now." And we put up all the tents. It took about an hour. No instructions. And as soon as we set them up, they're like, "Okay, pack it up and put it back exactly the way you found it."
Oh, no.
So yeah,
Sorry, it's going back into the bag,
Yeah,
because that's the bastard task,
Yeah.
getting everything back into the bag.
yeah. And we had no clue where anything went because we were just grabbing it all out the bags. So that took us like another hour and a half.
Now,
So
how did
We've
this
still
help?
got 7 hours
Yeah,
to...
how did this help your football?
I don't know. I really don't know. But
And what was Marko Rudan doing the whole time? Is he just like on a deck chair eating fries or what?
nah, to be fair, they were watching the whole time. But about 9 p.m. the night we arrived there, they were all eating McDonald's.
Thanks, Cal.
Yeah. And if you reach inside one of those two boxes, you'll find a McChicken or a Big Mac that you can devour.
So you get to this. I love this stuff, by the way, because I think putting you outside your comfort zone and then putting you, and it's basically to find breaking point. That's
Yeah.
what they're trying to do,
Yeah, it
right?
was,
And then break you and then build you back up.
Yeah.
Which sounds incredibly simplistic, but it is so tough to go through. You've had the nonsense, arbitrary getting something up and down. You've done the bastard tent. Is there another activity that you've had to do that you couldn't quite get done, or that you had to repeat?
Yeah, there was one 3 a.m. in the morning. I was wrestling David Williams.
This is part of... They've told you to do this?
Yes,
Yeah.
so this is not
Yeah.
something you've just chosen to do? Yeah.
No,
On the
we
side?
had to do this. Yeah, and you know, David Williams is a strong guy.
Yeah. He's
So-
wiry, isn't he?
So at 3 a.m., I had my chin pinned down to the floor by his elbow. This military guy screaming at me to get up. And yeah, I almost lost my head.
Okay,
Can I just say,
Go on.
I was still on trial here, so I was doing this for free. Everyone else was getting paid.
Is that sitting in your head as well? You're like,
I still
I can
think about
leave.
this.
Yeah, what am I doing here? Getting
I
paid
still
jack.
think about this.
Okay, so breaking point. Did someone break, or who got the closest to just throwing in the towel?
Nah, surprisingly, no one actually broke. Everyone bought into it, to be fair, which was good. There was a few like, why are we here? Like, what the fuck is this? But yeah, no one actually threw the dummy.
And what was the worst, like what was the lowest point in the year? Because you've been up for 24 hours.
Yeah. Probably the wrestling. David Williams at 3 a.m. was my lowest point of that 24 hours.
Ivy, is this something you want to incorporate in your academy?
Yeah. Ivy, you've been taking notes there quite vigorously for the last 5 minutes.
I've done similar. We did similar when I was at Millwall. It's an age-old thing. I think it's, and Cal will probably be able to say the same, but for me, we used to talk about it. We like, if you can get through that, like, and you're 1-0 down with 5 minutes to go, that's nothing. Do you know what I mean? You know, you've gone to the depth of despair and found a way to get out of it. Like, I think it stands you in good stead, and you can use it the right way. We used to do it at Hawke's Bay, lesser level. We didn't go to the military base, but Brett Angel, who used to play for Everton in the Premier League, he had a similar thing, and he'd call it the longest day. And we did the same thing, and we had an army instructor, and he'd take us out to Hawke's Bay, and you'd be marching stuff up to the top of the hill and come down, same as Cal was saying, and then, yep, okay, well done, but you didn't do it in the time, do it again, and then do it again. So they must be on the same thing, because it was saying, oh, prove it wasn't a fluke, and you're like, Jesus Christ. But you're looking round, and in our one, it was a little bit different. A couple did break, and straight away, you don't want them as teammates, and this was a trial as well, and those couple of guys didn't make the team that year, and you just think, well, I don't really disagree with that. If they can't get through this, then are they going to be able to get through a full season where you're going to need them?
My best mate's uncle was in the ECS, and he's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And he was saying,
you've got to say that, because otherwise he'll pin you down to the ground like David Williams had Cal.
Ground.
Yeah.
Well, we had a home.
He's the best guy I've ever met. He's wonderful.
He's fantastic. And we had a home intruder once a couple of years ago, and I was having a chat to him just about, like, you know, are there any shortcuts to defending yourself? And BJ just said, my skill set's very different to yours. And that was the end of the conversation. But he was saying that when they went through and did their testing, they literally just have to get from point A to point B, and they do that for like something like 36 hours. And he said the attrition rate is the highest at the very last point, because they used to get them to navigate through a swamp. They'd get there and they thought they'd reach the finish line, because it was like they've been told it finishes at this point and it finishes at this time. And the instructor, there'd just be one instructor there, and the guys would walk up and they'd be like, okay, cool, am I done? He's like, yeah, no, you are, but you just have to turn around and go back the other way. And he said it was almost like 50%. So they've almost made it there, and then 50% of the people that make it that far, they just pull out at that point, because they're just done. They're cooked. And it's the ability to turn around and march back the other way. And these guys he said he got blisters so bad that what he did is he just got his pocket knife out and slit the middle of his feet and then taped them up. And he just kept going. Like, it's that kind of mentality, though. And Ife's right. If you see someone fold when others are continuing, not only does it galvanise the group that remains, but it also makes you question whether or not you want that person in your group going forward.
Well, I'm glad that you persisted and you pushed through, because we eventually saw you as a professional, not someone on trial, but a professional at the Wellington Phoenix. And I think the three of us, we bore witness to your elevation in black and yellow. I think it was the season of 22-23 where you forced your way into the All Whites and played against China. We were absolutely stoked, because, you know, we're part of Team Ifill, and he basically made you what you are, right? According to the great man himself. And so to see you what you did...
I've not yet committed, by the way.
Oh, are you? Okay, all right. Well, I'm part of Ife's team anyway. What was it like through that season and coming to prominence, coming to the fore the way that you did?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had it in me. I was just sort of waiting for my chance, and that season I didn't start the first few games, and then I got my chance, and yeah, I just took it. I started getting a few assists on the board, got a goal, and yeah, just overall it was an enjoyable season, that one. Because
you're obviously playing as a wingback. I think your propensity is to attack more than defend, is it not? Like, were you primarily an attacker, and then you've had to learn the defensive side of things as you've gone on? Yeah, I actually I signed at the Phoenix as a 10, and then I saw right back was lacking a few spots, so I just said I'm a right back, jumped in there, and yeah, at the start my defending was horrendous right back, and my attacking was decent. And then, yeah, it sort of just switched, to be honest.
Interesting. I've referred to him as a naturally gifted one-on-one defender. That comes as news to me. So you were a 10.
Yeah.
And then you've just kind of migrated back into the right back
but
spot.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of switched now. I'm probably better at defending than I am at attacking now.
Well, I mean, case in point, a couple of weeks back in the derby,
Fantastic defending.
where you guys are down to 10 men, you're down to 9 men, and you're going toe-to-toe with Carlo Armiento, who's the biggest attacking threat that the Wellington Phoenix possess at this point in time. And you still had him in your back pocket, despite the numerical disadvantage that you guys were faced with.
Yeah, well, going into the game, his left foot's unbelievable.
It's lethal,
Like,
mate.
Unbelievable. I knew at any chance he was going to try and get it onto his left foot. So yeah, I just stopped that from happening, basically.
Do you feel guilty about stealing a moment from Valdi, though? Because I mean, he was lined up for a save there. He'd done well. He'd marshalled the troops all game. He'd come toe to toe with Corbin Piper, and then you just reached down into the pocket and pinched a save out of off Valdi. So
we were talking about that. We weren't sure.
it's a hell of an intervention, though.
We
mate.
weren't sure if he was getting it or not. He says.
Oh, if he's
that he
shaking
had
his
it.
head.
That's
he's
not
saying
what
he's
he
not
told
getting
us.
it.
Yeah.
He said that he had it, but like looking at the angles, I'm not sure if he did.
Mate, the best bit for me, though, was the celebration after.
Yeah.
And you're a shy guy. You've
Yeah.
said that. Took your, 3 or 4 van trips with Ifill to get talking.
8 hours of silence.
But
Yeah.
that's how much the game means
Yeah.
to you guys,
It was
right?
just adrenaline, basically.
I
That's it.
absolutely loved it, mate. But the one-on-one defending that I was talking about happened a little bit more recently. Gee. Can
When
you
was
think of
that?
any moment where he just showed incredible athleticism, instinct, which had been cultivated over years, and just an ability to manage the moment superbly? I think it was in Gosford recently.
Can I phone a
I know.
friend and
This is
ask
where this
Paul
is
Ifill?
going.
Yeah, Ifill, can you think of a moment where Callan's stolen the limelight recently?
Yeah, I can. It was a finish that I would be proud of myself at the other end. He'll tell you, I messaged him straight after that game. Bro,
I think
that is
everyone
some
did, I
finish.
think.
I turned off my phone.
Callan-
I had
You turned
enough.
off your phone?
I did. I had enough.
Nah, Callan knows I can't head the ball, man. I'd have been so proud of that. It was an absolute belter.
It was a thumping header, wasn't it? What's happening in that moment, mate? Because it was a fabulous finish, just in the wrong net.
Genuinely break this down for us, Cal, because
Nah,
that
like I
is
said,
wonderful.
I've just had an all-time stinker, to be honest. I saw the cross coming in, and I'd already committed to the header. And once you've got it in your head, like, it's very hard to switch up last second. But then the ball dropped quicker than I thought, and so it had to be sort of like a diving header. And I just got way too much contact on it. I was trying to flick it away, but
The contact is incredible because usually you see own goals are awarded and it's a slight deflection off a knee or a shin or an ankle, and this is just a powerful header.
Bullet.
Straight, yeah, like it was a rocket into the back of your own net.
yeah, it was. I mean,
Best own goal I've ever
not much
seen.
to say.
My question to you is, where did the worst abuse come from? Was it the fans or was it your mates? Because everyone has had a massive smile on their face whenever we've asked them about it. Lachie Brook.
Yeah, of course, Lachie Brook. I haven't seen too much from the fans, to be honest. I think,
So the abuse was coming from friends,
yeah, from teammates, which,
former coaches.
yeah, former coaches as well. But it's expected. If my teammate did the same thing, I'd be abusing him. But yeah, you've sort of just got to laugh about it. Thank God we won, because
Yeah.
if we lost that, I don't know
No,
how
but
well.
Cal, you know what? It's one of them. If you'd have lost, you wouldn't have got stick. They'd have talked about you behind your back. But because you won, it's easy to give you this. No, but it's true. It's easy to give you this.
It is.
100%. They'd have been like, Cal, how's he got in that position? That's fucking shit. But because you won, you can go, fucking what a finish. And it's actually okay. It's allowable.
You can almost celebrate it. Hey,
Luckily, I was actually having like a decent game. Like,
Yeah.
you take away the own goal, I had a good game. But obviously, yeah, the own goal in there wasn't my best game.
speaking of goals, we saw one at the weekend where you guys have beaten Western Sydney 2-0. And the opening goal is credited to
Spectacular.
Jesse Randall, but it's Sam Cosgrove who's shaping up for the hit. Now, Randall is prone on the ground. He's face down. He knows nothing about this. He's been taken out of the play.
He's a human ramp.
That's essentially what he becomes because Cosgrove ramps it into his heel and it goes in the goal. Who should be credited with the goal? Let's start with you, Paul Ifill.
Jesse, I think you're giving him disservice. I think he knew plenty about it.
Oh, okay.
Angled-
So it was all part of the plan.
Yeah, he angled his foot exactly the right
It's
spot.
all about. I'm with Ivy. It's all about instinct, isn't it, Ivy?
Cosgrove did the rest.
Yeah.
No, look, you claim that. If you're
Can't
forward,
do.
you claim that for sure.
Put yourself in Sam Cosgrove's position.
Sam Cosgrove should have looked in front of him and realised that Jesse was behind him.
I think it's
listen,
Jesse.
I'm a big fan of Sam, and I might not say it to his face because he's a big lad, but I think you've got to give this one to Jesse. I think, yeah, Jesse, last touch for me.
You're
That's
either
enough.
joining us
If
or you're in the
If
minority.
he doesn't get the touch, the ball doesn't go in the net.
Yeah, that's a fair point, actually.
See, I'm in the minority. I think it should be Cosgrove's goal. And there's a really worrying trend that's developing at
It's
Auckland
a chink
FC.
in the armour. It's a part. Yeah.
Where players are poaching goals. We saw it in the derby last year in the 6-1 result, where Neida Moreno had a perfectly good hat-trick stolen from
worrying,
him
isn't
by
it?
Logan
Worrying.
Rogerson's thigh or kneecap. Well, he knew nothing about that goal, and then he celebrates the hat-trick.
Yes.
Callan, take us inside the sheds, mate. What are those discussions like?
Yeah.
Are people getting a little bit ruthless when it comes to claiming these goals, or what?
This is actually funny because I think Moreno claimed the hat trick because it was for a hat trick. I think he claimed it after the game, so he took the match ball home.
Oh no.
I've seen pictures of him holding the ball in the sheds with all the signatures.
No.
Yeah, and then it got given as Logan's goal, so he had to bring the match ball back into training.
Has Logan
and give it to
signed his
Logan.
own hat-trick ball?
I'd say so, yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
So as part of the handover from Moreno to Rogerson, did Neida
There's a
then
little
have to sign
whiteout.
his
I hope
hat-trick
so.
ball?
It's only fair. I hope so.
The other one, Ify, though, and legitimately is part of the conversation, and it, roles were reversed. But Jesse's goal, Sam's goal, in the derby as well. Like,
No, but that's
worrying
why I
trend.
think that's why I think this is fair now. Now it's even.
Oh, so it's karma.
That was a massive steal. That should have been given to Jesse, and it wasn't. So I think it evens itself out. In the
You know what needs to happen, Ify? How about we solve it like an own goal situation, where if the shot wasn't on target and it's deflected in, then it's an own goal.
Mm-hmm.
But if the shot is on target and it's deflected in, it belongs to the striker.
I think what we need Robbie Slater style reenactment.
I did ask Ify.
For Ify, though. I think
And
we
then
need Ify.
Jacobs just chimed in.
Robbie Slater at Ify.
I'd go one further, and I'd say, if it looks like the ball, I don't think Cosgrove's shot's going in. I think it was an average shot that gets saved. That's my point.
But if it's
But I
on
think
target,
There are rules for
No,
this, you
but
guys
so
realise,
what?
right?
So what? Shot on target. We're not statos here. Shot. It needs to be a decent strike. Sam's better than that. Sam should have just curled it in the top corner.
careful,
We don't
he's
have this-
6'4". Remember, he's big.
I know. Look,
Write a reply,
I'm
Ify, you
a
reckon?
keyboard warrior today. I'm a keyboard warrior.
Well-
if he curls it in the top corner, we don't have the conversation. Why is he hitting it low when there's someone lying in front of him? So I think it has to go to Jesse. I think that's my take on it.
Even
From
though
the
he's
dubious-
face down
dubious
on the
goals
ground.
committee. Yep. He fell down in plenty of time. Sam should have seen him, didn't see him, kicks it into him, it goes in. So Jesse's done the hard
It's
work.
just a good assist.
Just for transparency,
okay,
Ify, was Jesse Randall ever part of the academy, or have you coached him?
Yeah. If the roles were reversed.
Not for long. I can't really claim him. I coached him for about 6 months. He was already the finished article at that point. So yeah, I can't claim anything there.
Change his tune. We've actually been joined by Lachie Brook.
Ambushed, you
Lachie,
might
if
say.
you'd just like to walk in here so people can actually see you on screen. The evil twins coming together here on the Unused Subs. He's been very, very nice. Yeah.
I've been very nice about you,
Yeah.
even though what you said last.
things at training.
Do we want to?
saying,
Can we
Oh.
grab a chair as you coming in, or?
No, we don't have another microphone hooked
You
up.
had your
But
podcast last week. It's my turn.
You can
Yeah.
share a mic.
eventually, we'll get you guys both in together and we'll talk about the relationship for a good 45 minutes.
Oh, we need more than that.
Or maybe it's a two-parter.
Oh, for sure.
Someone smells good, by the way. Is that you? A little oud.
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, okay, well, that was distracting.
Okay, so I thought that was organised.
No, that was just spur of the moment.
Oh, right.
Magic happens sometimes.
Beautiful.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Where were we?
We've spoken about your rise to prominence with the Phoenix and how we were all stoked with how you were going. And then this departure happens and you're kind of off in the wilderness for, what was it, a year and a half? How long was it in the end, mate?
7 months until I got a team.
Yeah.
New contract. Yeah.
So you left the Phoenix without a club to go to. And,
Yeah.
and how difficult was that situation to navigate? Because as a footballer, all you want to do is play football, and
Yeah.
now you don't have the opportunity.
Yeah, nah, to be honest, that was really, really difficult. Basically, everything that could have gone wrong that year did. I thought coming off that season, I'd be able to find a team somewhat easily,
Yeah.
but no, it was far from that.
We talk about these moments for others to hear, because I mean, your experience, others won't have been aware of the ins and outs of it necessarily. So if there's something that you're like, you want to reflect on, you're like, probably shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, I mean, I went on trials through that 7 months. Some of them went well, some of them not so well. I went to Air for a bit, where I'm George Dangerous. But I went in like first week of pre-season, and coming off that season that I had, I wanted to be a bit higher level than Scottish champ. So I went in telling them I'm just training, like I don't want to be on trial. And I think they were keen to get me back, but I sort of said no because it was so early on in pre-season. I thought I could possibly get a better team, but looking back, I probably should have taken that. But you know, that's all hindsight. Went on a few more trials elsewhere, didn't really work out. I went down to Milton Keynes with Tommy Smith. I remember I think it was Sunday night, I got a message from them at 11 p.m. saying, can you be down at training at 11 a.m. And I was up in Edinburgh. And then the first thing we did was the 5-minute run test. So I was dead. I couldn't run, never mind kicking a ball. So I was absolutely honking that trial. Wasn't surprised when they didn't sign me. And then I went on trial with Motherwell, and luckily that succeeded, and I signed with them for half a season. Stuff off the field as well wasn't going my way. I remember, so I just bought a house maybe a year before, so I didn't really have much savings. So I went over to UK with nothing, and 7 months without a job.
It's a long time.
Yeah, very long time. I maxed out a couple credit cards. I was in the dumps, and I signed for Motherwell, and at that time I was catching the train from Edinburgh to Motherwell, and yeah, that first paycheck came in. It was absolutely peanuts, but I was over the moon because I could pay for insurance on my missus' car, so I could then drive to Motherwell. This was like a blue convertible Nissan Micra.
A convertible in
don't know if you've
Scotland.
seen it, but yeah, I don't know why they have it.
Yeah.
A convertible Micra.
Yeah, it was horrendous looking car. I'd park it like 200 meters down from the
Did
stadium.
you need insurance? Was anyone going to steal this car?
No, probably not.
Yeah.
But I paid for insurance. Well,
the principle,
you do.
Jacob.
You need insurance in the UK. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. And maybe the third day of having insurance, I was driving back to Edinburgh, and there was this truck coming the other way, and the thing the truck was carrying went under. Like the truck went under a bridge. It hit the bridge. It like basically blew up. This big metal thing bounced over the barriers, hit my car, totaled the car.
Oh.
Like the bonnet? Like what's it hit? The
The
side?
bonnet. The bonnet was all like crushed.
Jesus.
And you were fine.
I was fine.
Yeah, okay,
It
that's
wasn't like a really bad crash, but the car was done.
Thank goodness for insurance.
Well, this is the thing.
Oh.
Apparently, when something leaves your car, you're no longer responsible for it. So it had to come out my insurance. So I had to wait till the next month's paycheck to pay the insurance to
So you
get
got
the
to pay
money
the excess.
to give to my missus' parents for the car. So that was like
Nightmare.
2 months of.
And did the insurance company say they were going to replace this convertible Nissan Micra, or were you going to give them cash to get a new car?
Probably better it wasn't replaced, to be honest.
But mate, talk, because I'm really interested in that. Having done something similar where you've got a small amount of money and you're trying to find that next job, and the stress, the uncertainty of when the finish line for that is. And then the second thing, to your point, the dignity around being able to do stuff for yourself, like even buy a coffee, I imagine. You're
Yeah.
worrying about every pound at that point that goes out of your wallet. So what was the kind of like the emotional stress like in that situation? Was there a moment when it was really low?
Yeah, I got really low, to be honest. Luckily, my girlfriend's parents they looked after me big time. along with my parents.
She's from Edinburgh, is that right?
Yeah, they're from Edinburgh, so that's where I stayed. Yeah, so I'm very thankful to them. Also, my parents, they helped me out when they could, but it got to a point where I didn't really want to be asking for any more money. So I started coaching a bit at like a one-on-one academy that brought in a little bit of money for, you know, the coffees and stuff. But yeah, emotionally it was really tough, but you know, I got through it thanks to my partner. She understood it all as well. But yeah.
It's tough, mate. It's very, very tough. Ifill,
You didn't reach out to Ifill for a loan?
Mate, he's seen all the other podcasts. He knows I've spent all my money gambling, so that'd be a stupid phone call. I want to ask you a question, Cal, about obviously your time at the Phoenix. You were, in my opinion, the best young player at the Phoenix, and then all of a sudden you're off. Do you look back on that time and think you would have liked to have somehow found a way to stay and continued your career there? I know things are great for you now, and you're probably happier up the road. But what would you have thought if you could have stayed at the Phoenix for that extra year?
Yeah, I mean, the year preceding the season I had, I do wish I stayed at the Knicks. Obviously, I was doing well there, and you know, I was in the All Whites team. Obviously, without a team, no more All Whites. But yeah, looking back, I 3 years they offered me was a long time. I was looking to go, you know, elsewhere. I wanted to play in Europe. But, you know, looking back at it now, I'm here at Auckland FC. The happiest I've been playing football. Obviously, we won the Premiers as well. So now I'm happy with my decision of leaving. But, yeah, after the season I had and no team, I was devastated not playing.
I couldn't understand the departure when you leave a club where you've done so well and you're playing with the All Whites, and then you go to no club in particular. I'm like, well, please just stay in black and yellow because you're doing so well. But look, I'm so pleased that you've landed on your feet with Auckland. And this season we've seen you claim a starting spot. Obviously, Hiroki Sakai has been out injured, and then at black and yellow, Wellington Phoenix, Tim Payne is also out injured with his collarbone. He's recovering. And I'm thinking, well, in such an important year for New Zealand football, everybody's got an eye on the World Cup, and you're able to put your best foot forward for Auckland FC. How cool has that been for you to be able to do that during this period?
Yeah, it's been good, and Steve's very good with this. He, like, if you play well, you keep your spot. So until I, you know, start having bad games, I'll be hopefully keeping my spot. Yeah, my issue with the All Whites is lack of game time. That's why I've not been selected the past few times. So now with these run of games, hopefully I can get back in that team, because like you said, it's obviously a big year for the All Whites, and you know, it'd be a dream come true.
What's that conversation like with Darren Baisley? Does it even exist when you're on the periphery like you have been with Auckland FC? Now you're thrust back into the spotlight. Does he get on the phone? Are there messages exchanged or anything like that? I'm keeping my eye on you for the World Cup.
Yeah, he sends me messages. Since I've been playing, he's said it's good to see you playing. This is what you needed. Just keep it up, and hopefully the next time he rings me will be him calling me up to the All Whites again.
We've talked to a lot of players about this, but in terms of the dual carrots, if you will, was it carrots in the room? Was that how Valti described it?
Yeah, he said the carrot in the room is the World Cup.
It was a great explanation. So there's kind of dual carrots in the room. One, obviously keeping your spot in the starting 11, but the second one being the All Whites and getting back into the contention. How are you managing that?
I'd be lying if I said my full focus was on AFC. You know, it's a World Cup year next year. It's a dream for every footballer to play in the World Cup. So I'm always thinking about making that All Whites squad. But to do that, I've got to be playing well here. And you know, I feel as though I've been doing that. I just need a longer run of games to get those minutes up.
So crowbar to Hiroki Sakai's knee or something like that?
See, the thing is, Hiroki's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Obviously, he's the club captain.
Yeah.
And when he's injury-free, he gets slotted back in there. And you've just spoken about your need for game time to start all the time. When he eventually comes back, is there like a part of you that goes, oh shit, this sucks, I'm going to be back on the bench again? But then obviously there's this team spirit that's like, oh yeah, great, we've got our captain back, and the team is going to be so much stronger for having him involved.
To be fair, I'm thinking very selfishly.
Yeah.
Like, I want to look after myself. I want to be playing. And like I said, the gaff is very good. I know if I keep playing well, then I'll keep that spot no matter if Hiroki's fit or not. So I know if Hiroki steps back in that I might have had a bad game or two. So it's up to me, really.
So you keep your spot on the right, and obviously at the weekend he came on after an hour and you made way for Sakai. But is there a conversation that might exist where Hiroki plays in central defence instead, and then is it a case of Dan Hall or Jake make way for Hiroki?
Yeah, I mean, it's a possibility. I can't really say too much on it.
Of course you can.
It's the gaff's decision, so...
It's one of those nice headaches, isn't it, though, Cal? Because what you're talking about there is a depth and a width of options as well, and there's the different formations that could be deployed. I think Hiroki's slotted into the right inside of a back three, and you've come in on as a right back at times. So the competition in your squad is phenomenal, but I'm going to pivot away from that just a little bit. The accent. So you're an all white, you're very much a proud Kiwi, but the accent's a little bit kind of foreign, shall we say. So it was referred to last week by Lachie as being a mixture of Kiwi, Scottish, English, and at times American.
Yeah.
So where's the foundation of this accent coming from?
Well, I was born in Scotland and moved to New Zealand when I was young, so now it's sort of just a mixture of both. I get Canadian quite a bit.
Interesting.
Not so much American. It's more Canadian. But yeah, like I said, it's just a mix now. I don't know what it is.
So your folks are both from Scotland?
Yeah, and they sound very Scottish, obviously. They lived their whole life. I've got 3 brothers. My oldest one, very Scottish. My other 2, very Kiwi. And I'm bang in the middle.
I think I'm starting to understand why he wasn't talking so much on those van rides, I think. Embarrassed of the accent.
I think so. We got him there in the end.
Obviously, it's Christmas on Thursday. But you guys have the small matter of a match with Sydney on the 27th, and it's a huge game. You win this game, and you put 5 points between yourselves and Sydney FC in second spot. So what does Christmas Day look like for a footballer such as yourself? Do you get to celebrate with friends and family, or is it off to training? Do you jump on a plane? What does it look like, Callen?
Yeah, we're flying on Christmas Day.
What time? When's the flight?
We've got to be there at 1.
So Christmas
it's
morning's even impacted.
Yeah, we get some of the morning.
Yeah.
I think Lockie's coming around to mine.
Yay.
Secret Santa? What's going on?
Yeah, we've got Secret Santa. We're doing that on the 24th between the players. Staff didn't want to get involved. But yeah, we're flying on Christmas Day. To be honest, as much as it sucks, like, I do see the benefits of it also. Like, you're away from all the distractions of Christmas. You're in a hotel, you're fully focused on the football. So I think it will do us well being away, to be honest. As much as it sucks, like, I'm leaving my partner alone. Her family's in Scotland, so that's a bit hard, but football-wise, it's actually beneficial in some way.
Every coach is different, and I think it also depends on how you're going. Like with Auckland at the moment, they're absolutely flying, so you don't want to change too much. But I had coaches that would give you the day off because they were flying. Do you know what I mean? I remember Neil Warnock. He'd be like, the games leading up, he'd be like, right, if you get 6 points out of the next 3 games, I'll give you Christmas Day off. So the boys were like, right, let's go. And then I remember the following year, he said, if you beat so and so, you'll have Christmas Day off, and we got beat. And so he said, all right, I'll still give you the day off, but I'm going to give you heart rate monitors. So you had to go. I think the rule was we had to do a half an hour run Christmas Day, and obviously it's bloody freezing up in Sheffield. And I remember my missus had just got out the chocolate fountain. We got all the family around. They're just starting the chocolate fountain. I've got to go out for this run, and it was horrific. And it was supposed to be half an hour. I remember doing 18 minutes and thinking, they probably won't even check that. They probably won't even check the monitor. I'll do 18 minutes. Got back in, smashed up the chocolate fountain. Take the monitor in the next day, thinking nothing of it. We play. I think we win on the Boxing. I think it was Boxing Day. We had the game. We win on the Boxing Day, and then Gaffer gets all the boys together, and we're thinking it's going to be a review of the game. You've done well, great, blah blah blah. And he goes, right, here's the stats for the heart rate monitors. But as it happened, 18 minutes was actually quite high up the list. There was some who'd done nothing. There was one lad who tried to put it on his dog, and it
The heart
turned
rate's
out-
different, mate.
Yeah,
the
it
heart
turned-
rate's higher.
Heart
Oh,
rate
no.
on the dog, and
What-
the heart rate's obviously way higher, so they were worried that he was going to die. So that didn't go down so well. So yeah, look, everybody's different, but I'm kind of with Cal in a way. Just nice to be out of the limelight and all the distractions. Get the 3 points, and you can always celebrate when you get back. Do you know what I mean? There's no rules and regulations around what you do in your own time. So you have a Christmas day a couple of days late, and if you've got the 3 points in the bag, then happy days.
Was Monty in that team, Ify?
Monty wasn't that team. You know what Monty's like? Monty probably did 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Just to show
Yeah, no, I know.
how much he wants to be in the team. Yeah, Monty was actually absolute teacher's pet. Top man, by the way, but teacher's pet. Warnock absolutely loved him.
I'm still trying to come to grips with the guy who put the heart rate monitor on the dog.
Google how much higher a dog's heart rate is than a human's. Like, mate, do yourself a favour. Just coming back to Cal for a second, though. So it's against Sydney, this big fixture.
Yeah.
You just enjoy it, mate.
It's so good.
Does that make it easier that it is a big fixture? Because I can also imagine going to, I'm not going to name names here, but a lesser known part of the A-League, and you potentially, in kind of semi-rural Australia in some regards, and that's really not an exciting proposition at all. But you are going up against Ufi, your former boss, up against Sydney, perennially top of the table, at least premiers, or they're fighting for silverware, Steve's former employer. You're playing it in Sydney, and I mean this with all respect, there's also this massive emotional umbrella that's over the game as well with what's happened in Bondi recently. So is that, from a player's perspective, is there a natural motivation in that and an attraction to play the game as opposed to we could be going somewhere else, not so enticing?
I mean, yeah, definitely. Obviously, the results in the past weekend all went our way. So we have a chance to...
It was mental. Something
Yeah.
like 4 teams below the size that they were playing won.
Literally every result went our way. So we have a chance to go quite a few points clear. So yeah, that's extra motivation and makes it easier to go over and get those 3 points.